Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack by using code K100 at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Let's get to Dynamite. AEW Dynamite. Dynamite!
I'll have to
You got the quarters here, Joe? Pull the quarters up.
Yeah, 663 total.
No, it's the quarters, Joe. You're
I know, but sometimes they say Joe doesn't say the number.
Yeah, so the show was up again a little, just tiny 1%. I think they said it was up, and this is not. Once again, this is not a. It's not a. It's a little bit of a ski slope because it was top heavy because you had All right, so everybody was bragging online that this was the week that they were going to be the longest running wrestling show on TNT, which only a handful of people give a about. But to celebrate, they just go, let's get right to it. And Blake Christian walks out with, I don't have no idea who Blake Christian is. Okay, I guess he's a Ring of Honor guy. He's supposed to be some indie darling. Okay, he walks out. They don't give a graphic for the guy he walks out there with. This is
who's that?
Some African American wrestler is walking out with them completely underdressed. Okay, and I didn't know who he
isn't underdressed on that show.
Exactly, we'll get into that. Okay, this is especially this week was the week
Johnson,
of underdressed. No, I thought it was Lee Johnson, correct? And
right.
I don't know who
they
Lee
did
Johnson
say.
is.
They did say during the show that it was
when they were getting in the ring, he said Lee. One of the announcers said Lee Johnson.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Who is Lee Johnson?
Well, he's been on the AEW roster, right?
He was in the factory.
We're mistaking him for Lee. I think you're confusing Lee Johnson with Lee Moriarty.
No. Lee Johnson was in the factory with Camarado and Marshall and Solo.
Oh,
that's why you don't remember because it was so dull.
But
so for some ungodly reason, and I guess Tony likes good matches because I guess it's Blake Christian guys.
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying he's right up this fan base's alley with his moves because he did the opening spot and Kenny comes out. Okay. They give Kenny a lot of pomp and circumstance too for his pro, like a lot of fireworks go off and everything. He gets in the opening spot.
Guy.
They do this typical just goofy. He does the tackle to Blake Christian. Blake Christian kips up and no sells it and flicks Kenny off and like that. So I started fast forwarding through the match. I stopped a couple times. This kid's just a typical like indie high. He does this unique little tope through the ropes where he flips upside down and hits the guy with an upside down cross body, whatever it is. So, but
no, he does a tope like upside down through the ropes, which
right.
Very
but he
few
goes
guys
to the rope
can do.
straight.
Yeah.
Then he twists
right.
It's kind of kind of like if you're doing like if you're swimming and you're coming to the wall and you flip around like this. He kind of like does that kind of flip.
That's interesting.
So. Okay, so then this got good, right? Because after the match, Kenny started talking about not being able to wrestle every week, but said he kept his promise to make it quick this week. He actually did. This was actually he didn't like This is a little competitive match, but it's not like when Kenny he's supposed to go over strong,
right?
And he give the guy like that. No,
right.
This was a very decisive because his finishing sequence was a decisive win. They didn't do false finishes, kickouts. He just boom,
as
boom,
it should
boom,
be.
Exactly. So that was very, very well done. And the kid didn't look bad because he let the kid do a couple of his dives. So whatever. So he called out Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey. Ricochet was here in Vegas at his wedding that Karrion Kross and everybody attended.
Oh, really?
Was attending. Yeah. Well, you'll see because you saw the thing. So Speedball Mike Bailey comes out. And his shtick on the mic is he was just completely marking out for Kenny Omega. I respect you and I admired you and stuff. And so then Ricochet, but he said, but at Dynasty, I would not hesitate to kick your head off and take the title. This poor kid is not convincing on the mic at all. Okay. I'm sorry, but like you're just not, dude.
No, he's so convincing. And Mike Bailey's a very, very cool guy, nice guy. I don't know what was the purpose of this.
Right. Because it didn't make him look good. Right.
No, but a couple months ago, he came out as non-binary.
He did?
Yeah.
Wait, Mike Bailey did?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Look it up, Joe.
Look that up, Joe. Why would he do that?
I don't know, because the people in that community, they like you to know who they are,
Yeah. He identifies as non-binary, uses they, them, and he, him pronouns.
All right, so
this is how bad poor Mike was, that the people turned on him. They started to boo him.
Right.
He's not good on the mic. I cannot
and Kenny's
believe
not that good on the mic.
They
Right.
put him on. Well, he's better than Mike.
Right.
And Mike looked terrible here, bro. Poor guy. He cannot talk.
Right. This is not help him out at all. But then Ricochet popped up on the screen.
Right.
Said he was at his wedding, and he
had a
claimed to
sweet
be
white thing on.
Yeah, he claimed to beat both of them at Dynasty when leave Dynasty with both the girl and the gold. And so then he left. That was a good little interlude there because he was actually entertaining.
Right.
Like, hey, then Omega.
And you can see he's getting more comfortable in his character because he was brutal at the beginning, but now he's kind of set in. Yeah.
Now, the only issue I had with that is it looked like he filmed it in his backyard. I would have filmed it at the wedding area and found a place in the casino that was like really nice.
Yeah, that was it didn't look bad.
Okay.
And
okay.
actually,
So,
on Patreon here, Disco, Mr. X5150 proclaimed you were probably going to run in at the wedding, maybe to get Ricochet back for his tweets.
okay.
Should have.
Okay, so Omega replied that Dynasty won't be about making friends. He's got a cat, doesn't need any more. And he said Dynasty would be about solidifying his legacy, and neither one would stand his way. He doesn't say he bids the crowd to do like that. They chant along with it. They know, and I don't know. I thought it was kind of corny, but Omega actually Omega was actually kind of entertaining on the mic. He was funny here with Bailey.
Right.
He was kind of like so this is one of Kenny's better mic work, right? Because he kind of got to browbeat this kid, which is what he should be doing. So then they showed Dito reclaiming the mask of gravity. And then Jericho said it was time for all the masks to come off. He asked Big Bill, and Brian Keith to prove themselves. That they can't, members had to figure out if they still deserve to be in the learning tree. Told Bandito he wanted to feel the disgrace his brother felt and challenged Bandito to a mask versus title match at Dynasty. All right. So MJF comes out.
That's the Philly pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, you got it. So yeah. Okay. So let's go to the. So now look. Let me pull the number up here, Joe.
Recorders.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Okay. So that, bro. Okay. So they did the Kenny thing, and they didn't lose much that first quarter for some reason, even though it was just a nobody against Kenny Omega, and maybe Kenny's a little bit of a draw, because look at that, bro. Usually it drops like 100,000 people off the previous overrun.
No, bro. You know why?
Why?
There's a learning tree promo.
Well, I was wondering if maybe
how brutal was that?
Or they said MJF is coming out. I don't know, but brutal. I didn't like it, but it was a storytelling because he said you guys got to prove yourselves, okay? So that's a nugget for what came later on the show. So MJF comes out and insults the crowd, and brought MVP out to the ring.
I just want to. I'm sorry, dude. I want to say this to Konnan, even though he saw the show, so he can comment on it. MJF said Michael Jackson is a bigger star than Prince because he was in Minnesota. What do you think about that?
Absolutely not.
Right.
You believe Michael Jackson's a bigger star?
He probably said it to get heat.
He was a bigger, but he was though.
What?
Michael Jackson is obviously a bigger star than Prince. You kidding?
I think they were neck and neck.
No, they weren't.
No.
Michael Jackson and Prince. You're already
star power. Michael Jackson.
Right.
As far as talent, Prince.
But bro, and you got to remember Michael Jackson longevity. He had tons of material, but Prince had a little window of like he had a couple things that were really good, and he just kind of.
You never had what, Joe?
Prince never had the controversies Michael had with the kids and whatnot.
What are you talking about?
Still a bigger star.
He had controversy. Okay, not the controversy of the kids, but however,
Prince
still had the controversy when he wouldn't even say his name.
Yeah, he wanted to leave
the artist formerly known as Prince, so he didn't.
But Joe, so because he had accusations that made him a lesser star.
I feel like
Joe,
the opinion is more positive of Prince.
You cannot.
We're not asking that. We're asking who's the bigger star.
Yeah, we don't have to ask it, Joe.
Neck and neck.
Joe,
no, they're not.
Go right to AI and ask the question.
All right, let me ask you this before we move on. Just a quick one.
Okay.
Super Bowl performances: Michael Jackson or Prince? Who had the better one?
Michael Jackson by far is a huge controversy about it. You remember we played the clip about it. Remember?
Yeah.
When it's a Super Bowl. And he said he had this concept where he was just going to stand there and wait for the people that are running the Super Bowl and go like, you have a time constraint because it's halftime. Like every second felt like a year because they were like, what is he going to do? What is he going to say? Like, then he finally did his thing. Bro, it was unbelievable.
It's like, don't start playing until I cue you.
That was at the Rose Bowl. It's like 100,000 people there. Like you can't how are you going to compare that to the Prince?
Well, he played Purple Rain in the Rain.
Oh, come on. All right, so next is Joe. I'm very disappointed. Go look that up on AI, by the way. All right, so he calls out MVP. MVP comes out. MJF called him a legend and complimented his Kane. And then MJF said that he promised himself he wouldn't do friends again after what happened with Adam Cole. And he appreciates that MVP doesn't make friends; he does business. He then told MVP that he wanted to be in the business of hurting people and offered his hand. Lashley and Benjamin came out and interrupted. MJF and MVP before MJF and MVP could seal the deal, they were going to shake hands. And Lashley kind of got right in MJF's face, stood right in front of him, put his hand out, and MJF thought he was going to offer to shake his hand. He said, "No, give me the card." So he asked him for this card back. MJF pulled it out, and then basically he took the card and tore it up. And MJF wondered what's going on here. And then he started getting, bro. I like this. Okay, I don't know where they're going with this. Okay, there's a little sidebar here, because Lashley and Benjamin are they're being presented as heels, but they're baby faces. MJF has presented himself as a heel, but like they always do with the heels, they had the two baby faces come out. So now it's like 2-on-1 on MJF, and MJF did not back down at all. Well, like when he's in their face, he's just going MVP. What's going on? But he didn't. He looked like he was ready to fight the two of them. Okay, there was good work there by everybody involved, because it looked like a serious, like they were very serious, you know. So MJF backed off and said they would talk and left. So they're in the ring like asking MVP, what are you doing? Okay, so then Big Bill and Brian Keith interrupt, right? And because Jericho told them that basically MVP, everybody was called. Bro,
Can I tell you what my problem is before you continue with
Yes.
the learning tree and that promo with Jericho? Because he's saying, "Oh, I'm disappointed and you could go prove something." The problem is they've been booked so weak. You don't believe they're going to do anything cool or come through. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm not sure. This is funny.
And this was worse because MVP just destroyed both of them.
Because in there, but everybody kept calling each other so to the point that it was
too many times, right?
Too many times, right? Then MVP Bill made his case for them getting a tag title shot. Then MVP laughed and told them they actually had to win a match before they had any hope of a title shot. All right, so I like this because you can go a million ways here. Okay, now there's still the tag team champions. It looks like that this would be a good program. MJF and somebody against them. Who would you put MJF? And bro, I wonder if this is going to happen. When is Wardlow supposed to come back? Because MJF and Wardlow against Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin is a very compelling tag team angle. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but let me just make a point here. If you notice, when MVP came out, he was super over, right?
Right.
Now, when they came in, they were heels, okay?
Right.
But this is, and one of the only guys I see on the show doing this too is Samoa Joe, Moxley. They commit to their persona so much,
right?
That's very believable. So MVP hasn't done no corny, no funny, stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like they've always come as serious, well dressed. We will kick, and now we're the tag team champions.
Right.
You know, and so that's what happens when you commit to yourself and not just try to get over doing goofy. It did not look to me like he was going to fight both of them, because why would you? It looked like they were just arguing, you know?
Right. But they're face to face.
Yeah.
And MJF is not backing down when they were face to face, because he's got that New York, Long Island in him where they fight a lot in Long Island. Like everybody, like the Long Island guys used to come into like Brooklyn, everything, and like start fights.
Right.
That's like a thing, you know. So like, yeah. But
I don't know how many people know
that. Well,
that's
like a New York thing, yeah. But if you're from New York, you know the deal. Like the Long Island, there's a lot of the boroughs all think that they're tougher than the other borough, you know. Except like the Staten Island people, they're kind of like they're like the wussies, you know.
Well, they made
if you're
this
from like Brooklyn, or Bronx, or like Long Island, you think you're like the toughest guys in New York, and they'll fight, you know. So yeah,
but this made it more interesting because now we don't know if he's going to join, if the Hurt Business might break up. I mean, it just got to get even more interesting.
Right. It is. It's interesting.
But bro,
this is good.
When the little guy, and here's another thing for people that are on the mic: if somebody's going to use a word you're going to use, like especially if it's been used a couple times before, just change your word.
Right.
You know, he looked bad there. He looked kind of nervous, Bill, because MVP just, you know what it reminded me of? Remember when Charlotte wouldn't let the other girl talk, Tiffany, and just Bigfooted her?
Yeah.
Bro, he did the same thing to both.
Yeah, Big Bill was not ready for this.
No, neither was the other guy.
But he should, because he's not bad on the mic. And the other kid wasn't ready either. So
yeah, but now you got to think on your feet because somebody's shooting on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not maybe his expertise.
Right. So Storm and Thunder were shown backstage. And Storm named their tag team Thunder TITS. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to edit it out on our YouTube clips. And Storm told Bane and Ford they would never get double teamed like they would get double teamed like they never dreamed. She keeps making sexual references,
Right.
stuff
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
very sexual.
Right. So Brody.
I'm good with it.
So we do Brody King versus Kyle Fletcher, and I don't know. This match was kind of
Kyle Fletcher with Don Callis.
yeah. And
Did you see the guy dressed as Don Callis behind the commentators?
yes, that's pretty
That's
funny.
great.
He's always got great shoes.
So these guys, these guys are like the typical like modern day AEW wrestlers. There's a lot of everybody does the same spots. A lot of chops. The chops don't look that great. Okay, like compared like some guys do it. A lot of thigh slapping. Okay, the Fletcher's a thigh slapper, even though he doesn't need to. Really, like, there's so much thigh slapping on the show amongst these guys, like everybody, every match, that it's like, I don't know what I keep complaining every week, but it's just like it was so egregious this week, it's ridiculous. So just Fletcher placed King on the top rope and set up for a suplex, and Davis came out, Mark Davis, and he distracted, and Fletcher gouged his eyes and gave him a brain buster. And after the match, Fletcher celebrated with Callis and Mark Davis. Then they continued to beat up Brody after the match. And Powerhouse Hobbs ran down to make the save, and it's Hobbs and Mark Davis next. So let me give you the take from, was this Jason Powell? This is Jake Barnett. I'm not even going to read Jake Barnett. I like Powell's takes. This guy. You want to hear what Jake Barnett says?
All right.
We don't really shout out Jake Barnett that much. A bit of a clumsy. Oh wait, hang on, it's the wrong match. A good match with a clumsy finish. Brody continues to be a guy that's obvious Tony Khan likes, but is not really sure what to do with other than have him lose to whoever he's currently pushing. So next they do Mark Davis versus Powerhouse Hobbs, and Hobbs beat him. Bro, Hobbs. I wish I could. I'm inviting Hobbs to come to Vegas. Bro, give me 30 minutes with you in the ring. Bro, you need to learn how to punch. Like if you're a big guy, you would look good swinging because it adds you like you're a big guy. Like put people you do these forearms and the guys aren't selling them. Look like you're tough. Like everybody that does these forearms, nobody knows how to sell them big. Well, like at the beginning, like if the babyface comes in a house of fire and he's throwing forearms, he should be like, boom, knock you down and bump and feed. Boom, knock you down and bump and feed.
Right.
Bro, nobody sells these
And the thing is that, and
like,
I don't think he has experience to do this, but for wrestlers out there, so if you hit a guy with something and then you're going to hit him again, and the first time he doesn't sell, tell him, sell the next one. And then if he doesn't, let him have it.
And then say, sell this huge.
Right.
All right, and you take a bit and the guy takes a bro. It's like these people don't have experience to tell guys this. And so like Hobbs' strikes completely diminishes his persona because his power moves are great. And his facials and his
everything.
His name, but just his strikes are terrible.
He's still kind of green, but yeah.
He is.
That's what I was going to add. You might be surprised to hear this, but Hobbs debuted in 2009.
Well, that's fine, but he grew up
but
in
maybe he didn't have a lot of matches. You could have debuted in 2007 if you had one match a year.
That's fine, Joe. But 2009, your debut, and you're working the Indies for 14 years. This is the bad habits you get. Right. This is you bring all these indie bad habits with you. These forearms.
But I can't believe no veteran in the back has taught him how to punch.
Because they don't do it.
Well, Malenko could show him. I'm sure Jake could have showed him. I'm sure there's people back there that know how to do it. Taz. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, so
he trained with APW. So Mike Modest and Donovan Morgan were his initial trainers. Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to start the procession of so we're at what part of the thing. Look on the thing here. See what quarter we're on here, Joe. So we just had the Hobbs versus Mark Davis. Where are we?
This is 9:00. Nick Wayne.
Okay. All right. Nick Wayne. Okay. So for the last hour of the show, right? And it's, and we're later at night, you want the guys to look like stars. This is a procession of characters on the show that were wearing either white plain T-shirts or black plain T-shirts.
Right.
Completely not dressed for bro. There were so many guys. There were so many of them. Okay, I'm gonna sit there because Nick Wayne is out there.
Well, bro,
it's plain white T-shirt. Okay?
It's hard to take them serious because Wayne looks like a little kid.
Right.
Mike Bailey really looks small and skinny.
Right.
Okay, he looks like a kid, dude, like a teenager.
Kind of like he should be fighting Daniel Garcia.
Right.
Like that'd be good. Like those two would be like
Blake Christian
that's a fair matchup, right? Yeah.
Is a kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
so's Nick Wayne, or Nick Wayne. I mean,
Wayne.
like they're actual kids. That's why they look like that, you know.
Okay.
And then you see the Hurt Business come out, you know.
Okay. So then Nick Wayne took control. Nick Wayne's the only one that spoke. It was Nick,
Sabian, and the mom.
And the mom, right? So Nick Wayne's promo he said he was starting to understand why Christian did what he did at Revolution, but he'd wait to address it until he could see him face to face. He then said last week's attack on Cope is what it looks like when you properly execute a plan. Okay, this was a procession of awkward outs.
Right.
He walks off. They show the mom. She turns and walks off. Sabian's standing there. The girl is like has the mic in her hand. They just look at each other, don't say anything for an extended period of time, and Kip Sabian just walks out. Yeah. And I was like, did they like talk about what they were going to say before? Like, well, what's the out on this? It's like I'd be saying, like, guys, what's your out? There was no out. You just want like right. so like.
But couldn't have Sabian said, "Hey, I got to talk to this guy," you know, and walked off. Right? It was very awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, or just say something like, "I don't know what's going on."
Right.
Yeah, you know, because like maybe he's going into business for himself. I don't know, so there's something, right?
I got to find out. I got to talk to him.
Right. Just stood there, just walked out. Like, and bro, I'm not being a hater, but these are very important details when you're trying to tell stories and stuff, and the production of the show just looks kind of choppy when this happens, you know. So next was Hangman Page was interviewed backstage, but he could do because of what he said the week before. Okay, because Swerve finally gets a chance to say it because remember he said I'm gonna cost you. Whatever it takes, I'm going to call you're not going to win the title. So Swerve immediately just confronts him and warned him not to get involved in my title match. Okay. And then so they had an exchange backstage. So they're keeping Swerve and Adam Page's story alive, which is good. Okay. So then we go backstage and Dax, the way how about where they set this interview up? It wasn't even like it was a part of the arena where the fans walk in because like there was the doors behind there and the steps when if you open the doors to the arena and they start walking in and they just laid out 4 chairs in the middle of the floor. Okay, so they're all just sitting in chairs.
Very indie for a company that's just making 500 million or
Right. And Dax has a plain black T-shirt on.
Other guy,
not Dax. No. Dax had on like the type of shirt you buy at the Gap. Okay, it's got like the plain gray with the different color sleeves, no logo, just a plain generic $20 3/4 sleeve shirt. Cash has on a black T-shirt, okay, and then
but that's kind of their gimmick, bro. They're good old boys. They're not really into dressing fancy. You know what I'm saying? But
but it just makes them look like fans. Like they're not muscular. They're not. They look like just a bunch of.
Dax is they're both kind of muscular. They're not. Mike Bailey or Adam Cole or Nick Wayne.
No. But you're not showing like they don't have like any, you know what I'm saying? Like Scott Steiner-ish, like where your muscles are hanging out of your sleeves.
Well, nobody. How many people look like Scott Steiner? They look in shape. They definitely don't look out of shape to me.
Right. Okay.
They don't.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Okay. All right. But I'm just saying they look kind of. You know,
no, they don't know how to dress, but that's their gimmick. Hey, we're good old boys. Okay, you're from North Carolina. That's probably how they dress. As a matter of fact, that is how they dress in real life.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But bro, you're going to work. Dress up.
Right. He said he apologized, let his emotions get the best of him. Said he felt they took a break from their goals to help become the World Tag Team titles to help Cope pursue the AEW Championship. Then Cope responded that he came back to help them when the Death Riders put bags over their heads. Cash said he didn't want his best friends fighting. It was everything to both of them, and Dax wanted to switch gears and go after the tag titles. Both Cash and Cope wanted to take a shot at the trios titles. Harwood agreed, but seemed reluctant. So it's like he wanted to win the tag titles, and they want to win the trios titles. And I was like, oh, whatever. So the Swerve comes out for a promo and said everyone knew why I was there, and that was to call out Jon Moxley. So Jon Moxley comes out in his black T-shirt,
right,
plain black T-shirt, just like he maybe borrowed it from Cash Wheeler. What if they did? What if Moxley lost his white plain T-shirt and he had to borrow a black plain T-shirt? So Swerve looks cool. You know, Swerve knows how to dress.
Yeah, he always dresses.
Right. So Moxley made his entrance. Swerve said, what happened to you? You know, you used to be revered. The AEW title was synonymous, but now you hide behind your crew. So you don't deserve to be champion. He hides the title in his briefcase because he can't even look at it on his shoulder. Swerve told Moxley that the man looking in the eyes is the type of man who lives like he used to describe himself. Then Claudio comes out with his white T-shirt on and is standing behind Nana on the floor. Okay, and he said he would give him an opportunity to test himself because Dynasty is Swerve versus himself. This is what Moxley. So Moxley asked Swerve who he really is, because he knows exactly who he is. He said he would give him an opportunity to test himself because Dynasty is Swerve versus himself and has little to do with it. Then Moxley asked Swerve how far he's willing to go, not just today or Dynasty, but every day after then, when the world is bearing down his shoulders. He said his industry has been taken over by billionaires and Hollywood talent agencies and little boys and girls who see the world through their Instagram filters, but it's guys like Swerve that give him hope. Moxley then said he was willing to go the whole way right now and question whether Swerve actually had what it took. All right, now this is where okay, bro, these guys are having a good exchange. Okay, they're serious. They look good, too good. They're kind of pretty serious promo. So then Marina Shafir approached Swerve from behind with a crowbar. Willow Nightingale came out with a lead pipe. Okay, Swerve told Moxley that he was up against someone that was smarter than him because he had, the girl out there because and he said he's bled buckets and won Texas death matches and he would become world champion so Mox could continue playing a character on TV. Then Moxley called off Shafir and Claudio and left. Then, okay, bro, we're trying to promote a world title match between Swerve and Moxley. The end of this segment was Willow and Marina Shafir getting like a pull. That wasn't really much of a pull apart because they weren't getting pulled apart by a significant amount of people. They were just trying to get at each other. And bro, the crowd went flat for the out on this when they were doing this. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't notice it, but what I did
trust me, the crowd was just completely flat on this stuff with Marina and
I'm going to tell
Willow.
you what
do you get? Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you what I thought when it happened. I was like, why isn't? I mean, they're getting in each other's face, and why hasn't somebody punched somebody and we go off the show hot? We're running out of time. We'll let you know next week what happened. Boom, 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 and they're fighting, and people, you know what I'm saying, trying to separate them. But who cares about Marina Shafir? Just real talk,
Exactly.
And like they didn't need that, but maybe they're going to do a mixed tag match.
They are. It's been announced already.
All right,
but that was a way to build them. Like, all right, whatever. So
And here's a couple of things I just want to say. My problem with Moxley is I've seen no character growth. He's the same guy, right?
Right.
But this promo was great by him. I thought it was really good. Okay.
Right.
And bro, Swerve had the line of the night when he told them, "You can go back to playing John Moxley on TV or something like that."
Right,
yeah?
right, yeah.
How great was that?
Good line. Swerve holds his. Okay. So
you can continue to play John Moxley on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the guy's take, and this is interesting because I was thinking the exact same thing.
Right.
Okay. So the rated FTR promo felt like a work. I get the impression it ends with FTR versus Copeland and Christian. I'm having a hard time getting excited about it. That is true. It's because like their Nick Wayne and that crew is very heelish.
Right.
And so I think they're trying to turn Christian and put Copeland. But bro, how are you going to? I mean, you want to get there. But it's like, why on earth would Copeland and Christian be together again? They've been like,
because
massively
it's an iconic tag team.
I know
right?
that,
like
but I'm saying, right. But that that's where they're going. Okay,
right.
so
I have
Copeland,
no problem with that.
Yeah, Edge and Christian against FTR, but I like that they're doing this because you're getting all your characters that should be working with each other, like at the top of the card, like all your top guys integrating with each other in angles that like are compelling, not working with. Like they need to be just dismissing the Daniel Garcia stuff and all this other.
They still have problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the stuff we talked about, they're finally doing. Okay,
right.
So my question is, and I am going to actually find out. My question is, did the 4-time Booker of the Year just finally learn from all his mistakes and the shows have gotten better, which I doubt, or is it that more wrestlers are being able to participate, and as long as they give results, that's all that he cares about now? Because this doesn't feel like the normal writing he's done for 5 years. There's something different. And I think he's been listening to the fans or to his own wrestlers or whoever, where they're like, we need to have video package. We need to tell people who this is. We need to not have, these 5-man car crashes that nobody cares about. He keeps making a big mistake. Bro, I've said it a million times. The main event has to have star power. I think it was the lowest rated again, right?
Right. I think so, yeah.
Right.
Hey, Joe, I'm going to send you something real quick, all right?
Yes.
I'm going to send you something to your Twitter inbox before we go over this next one.
Did you say was the final quarter the lowest, Konnan?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, not by much, but yeah.
All right, hang on.
The quarter before was almost the same.
Hang on, Joe. I'm gonna send you something here. What is going on? Why is it taking Twitter so long to load on my computer? Joe, go on YouTube. Okay, go on Devo. Watch us work it. Okay. All right. So, and I want you to pull that up. This next match, right? It was Top Flight. Okay, and they come out with their boy Era Fox against Devo Knight
Is it a
and
video
Alex.
with Sorry,
Who?
Alex Finley. Devo Knight.
Who?
These are two indie guys. Okay.
Right.
Manscaped?
All right. So I want you to play. So Devo Knight. Now, do you remember Devo back in the 80s? The 80s
Yeah,
band?
with the cup head, with the
Yeah, right.
hats
So
that
they
look
will whip
like
it, crack
yeah.
that whip. Okay,
Right.
so
Mhm.
years and years later, they came out with another song. Okay, and it's actually a really good song. Devo Knight should come out to this song. Okay, since he calls himself Devo, right? This is actually a pretty cool Devo song. Dude, start from the beginning, Joe. I would pop for Devo Knight if he came out to that
So
song.
what you're saying is you want an indie wrestler nobody's ever heard of to come out to this song.
Yes,
right.
especially if he gets signed, if he becomes all elite, Tony should pay for that thing.
It doesn't have much
So this is
sing-along potential if nobody really knows it.
so this is funny. Okay, so Action Andretti and Leo Rush were joined at the Top Flight from the crowd after the match because they're in an angle. All these high flyer guys are heat with each other, right?
Why didn't they have Action Andretti, who's got probably the worst hair in the promotion? Looks like a cross between what's this guy's name from?
Well,
yeah.
Okay, let me tell you exactly what's going to happen here. Okay, because I've been following I watched this show from start to finish last night at work. If I was missing something, I went back and I fast forward just a couple times, like in the middle of matches, but I watch every detail, right? So now, mind you, okay, and because I saw the thing after the show, I go online. So they gave Top Flight a win over Devo Knight and Alex Finley. Okay, just a random win. They needed to get him win. So they've already announced Big Bill and because they said go win a match.
And Little Bill, nothing.
Big Bill and Brian Keith have been announced next week against Top Flight. Okay, so you know that Big Bill and Brian Keith are going to match with Action Andretti. Them, they've got heat with the other kids on Action or Dante Martin Top Flight. Action Andretti and Leo got heat with them. They're going to cost them the match. Big Bill and Brian Keith are going to get their win, and they're going to get them for their match against the Hurt Business. Okay, so they're actually tying things together that makes sense logically on this show. And it's actually not. This is not a bad written show, to be honest with you. All right.
No.
Well, except for just putting, bro. I don't like squash matches, but I understand what you're trying to do, storytelling. But bro, you can't be putting, there's too many. There was two matches that were like Kenny versus that Blake Christian and Top Flight versus Devo and Alex Finley. Bro, this one of those matches, at the most, right? So then they do Mark Briscoe and Takeshita. This is I thought this. I mean, I know people like Takeshita. This was terrible. It's just all forearms. They actually did the exact same spot twice. Okay, they did the thing where Takeshita boots Briscoe in the face. Briscoe no-sells it. Takeshita hit the ropes. Briscoe catches him and they do some flip. Bro, they go to the floor. They went back in the ring. They did the exact same spot twice. Like literally the exact same spot twice. And then they just started doing random no-selling and just popping up and it's at the end and catch a hit finish. But bro, the psychology there is literally no psychology here. So they just randomly no-sell stuff, did the forearm spot multiple times. These guys don't sell well. They just kind of you kick somebody, they just stand there and stagger. They don't grab their face like they're in pain or anything. Bro, this is very, I don't know. I did not like this at all. And I know probably their fans like this. This was not a good match. Like if I was an agent for this, I would be going over. There were so many things that I was like, well, you guys should do it this way, So I don't know.
So I wasn't as bad on this match as you were, but Briscoe is a lot like what's this guy's name? Like who were we just talking about? The Brody King that beats everybody except the top guys. Same thing they used to do with Pentagon. Like Briscoe's in that spot, right? Let me see what else do I remember about this match, and that I wasn't interested in it because it was kind of like a random match.
Right.
They're trying to make Takeshi into this big deal, bro. He's been there at least 2 years, and they put him with Don Callis. He doesn't seem any bigger than when he first came in.
Bro, his matches are all identical.
Well, not only that, he has zero personality, bro.
And he randomly does no sells. They do the no sell spots, and he doesn't come across as like a character that should be no selling out there. Like it's like I don't know. It's just, I'm just not a fan. So.
Well, you said the fans would probably enjoy it more than you, Disco, and I looked at the very prestigious cage match ratings. They rate from 1 to 10 per match, and Takeshi's match got 7.44 out of 10.
This is interesting.
Second highest rated match on the show.
Okay. Bro, let me do this.
Yeah.
See if you can find a cage match contributor. I would like to get a cage match contributor on this show, and I would like to hear what these guys, what exactly is cage match? What are you guys accomplishing?
I'll put the call out, but it's kind of like IMDb. You could sign up for IMDb and just rate all the movies you wanted. That's what cage match is. It's just dudes.
Yeah, and Dave puts over cage match. I'm like, really? Like just a bunch of marks that they're rating your matches? Like, it's like, bro, all I care about is
something, though, right?
Dude, every single professional wrestler, okay, that I've ever known. Okay.
Oh, you were saying, Disco, about wrestlers in cage match.
Hey, Papa.
Yeah.
What they think about it?
Yeah, I mean, how long has cage match been around?
15 years? Dude, it's probably been around forever, but I've known it 15 years or something like that.
Right.
And I used to use it for just if I needed to know if you wrestled somebody or history, things like it.
Right.
Keeps track. But I guess Tony and Dave, they look at it for audience ratings,
Right. I don't know.
Because it's just anybody can sign up with your email. And because I think I looked up your guys, Disco and Cage match, I think you're like a 5.7, and Konnan's like a 6.2 out of 10 or something like that. But that anybody in the world who doesn't like you guys, click 1, 0, or whatever, So,
right. Konnan back.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So backstage, MVP kind of explains to Lashley Benjamin why he's trying to recruit MJF. Said that he has reprehensible qualities. That's what he likes about him. Lashley said he's grimy and not to be trusted. They tabled the discussion, said they would focus on Big Bill for now. Penelope Ford comes out with Penelope Ford got zero pop in her entrance. Megan Bain comes out, and she did her big thing where she puts her hands with her cape.
Right.
And Penelope Ford is just standing behind her, so it just looks like she just as a shoot, just trying to block her out of the camera shots when it came across.
Not only that,
that was actually pretty funny.
Not only that, Bane, for as much as she's been pushed and protected, she really didn't get a reaction.
No. So then they wrestled Storm and Thunder Rosa, and she basically they gave Bane her win over Storm with her finish. And this should not have been the main event on the show. But I don't know what would have been the main event on the show, to be honest with you. The show was what would the main event of the show? I would have ended it.
Want me to tell you what I would have?
The Moxley Swerve face-off.
I would have ended it either with that, or I would have ended it with the MJF thing, right?
All right.
But here's
you know what they could have done?
What?
Actually advertise. I actually know it because they had to have all the other stuff. The big you didn't want to end your show with Big Bill and Brian Keith.
Yeah, no way.
Right, but they could.
I would have taken them out of that.
Right, you could have said we're going to have a Moxley Swerve face-off at the end of the show.
Right,
would have been the thing, the build-up, and I think
or MJF answers MVP, but you don't do the silliness with. Bro, the problem is that come on, man. Let anybody that doesn't see this is lying to themselves. Bill and the other guy do not come off as anybody credible or threatening or as stars, okay?
Right.
So if you would have taken them out of that angle or that segment and maybe done something backstage and let MJF and the thing that happened between MVP and all and let it breathe, and leave the show going, is this the breakup of the her family, or will MJF join, you know what I'm saying, and leave that with them, or finish it? But they finished it with this, and the thing is, I say this is star-driven business. Penelope's not a star. Megan, is that her name? Megan Bain?
Yeah, Megan Bain, yeah.
Megan Bain, she's not a star. What's her girl's name? Thunder Rosa. She's a star within AEW, but you're trying to get other people, right?
Right.
Storm is the biggest star there, but she's not a draw yet,
Right.
And so,
let me tell you.
That's how you should have finished it.
Okay, so they showed on the show earlier. They showed a Will Ospreay promo. Okay, but I want to make a point. I'm going to give you my top 5 of the week. All right, and then I'm going to make a point about AEW. in their show.
Right.
Okay, number 5 was the Swerve Mox promo.
Right.
Number 4 was the Punk promo.
Right.
Number 3 was the Randy KO promo. Number 2 was the El Grande Americano vignette video. Okay. And number 1 was the MJF facing up with the Hurt Business thing. I like that a lot. And I want to make a statement here about AEW. So you positioned, like a lot of your guys here, your top guys are working with the other top guys, and that's good. But now you kind of have like Kenny Omega's kind of like venturing over towards Ricochet. And I'm hoping that the Speedball Bailey guy gets dismissed out of that, and it goes to Kenny and Ricochet doing something. Okay, but bro, Will Ospreay's in no man's land now. Like, who's Will Ospreay going to work? Right. Who do you work? Right?
Was he even on the show?
No, they just did a video, and he can kind of do a thing with the Don Callis stuff, but that's all he's been doing.
He's already done.
It's like he's just rehashing all that stuff, It's just like, so Will Ospreay's kind of getting like put on the back burner to like working with all these other guys, and like all these other. But bro, the show is more interesting with these matchups that they have. They're trending up, and people. I am actually for the first time in a while looking forward to next week. Well, of AEW, because I like some of where they got guys positioned. You know what you could do? You could still keep Adam Page heel and have him and Ospreay do something, and maybe going into that Owen Cup tournament, whatever.
Yeah, that one.
Venture something out, but all that is like those are automatically matching guys up, just because you're in a bracket. It's nothing. Where's the personal issues in that? What I'm saying? So they can spin stuff up, and like I said, Will Ospreay's he's not really working with anybody right now.
You know what's difficult about Ospreay?
What?
Is that he came in and had a couple big matches with Omega, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they did it already.
Right.
They didn't do it already. That'd be like, I don't know, like someone like Cody coming into WWE and immediately wrestling The Rock. Like there was nothing. They already had the match. Why are they going to build Omega and Ospreay again?
That
would be what I would want to see, and they already did it. So Ospreay, to me, who's going to feud with? Yeah.
Okay, Konnan, what do you think? Top 5.
Okay, wait 1 second. Before I get to the top 5, remember when people were saying that Jericho isn't a draw? So last week, Chris Jericho had the most YouTube views for AEW. Okay?
Did he really?
Yes. Now this week, number 1 for WWE, or might have been March 21st. Okay.
Right.
So number 1, 1,700,000. Reigns, Punk, Seth Rollins, Major Brawl. 2, 631,000. Naomi helps Liv Morgan steal a win from Jade Cargill. 520,000. Italy sings with Randy Orton. 474 best crowd reactions, Italy. And 464, Naomi treats Cargill to a vicious beatdown. So the Cargill thing's drawing people. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
And I want to remind you that April 18th, Suzuki goes against Yoshihiko.
Okay.
I don't know if maybe you're interested in that.
You know what Vince used to do is actually pretty funny.
Right.
When they had the G1 tournament, Vince is terrible with names and pronunciation. He would go on his YouTube and read the results of the G1.
Right. Not being able to pronounce anybody's name.
Not knowing the guys right. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my top 5. Okay. Number 5. Poor guy, Mike Bailey. Okay, that was hilarious.
That's your top 5 because of why? Because it was so bad. Right. Right. I felt sorry for him. Have you ever seen somebody on TV and you actually feel sorry for him? Like, poor guy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
I felt sorry for Bailey. Okay. Number 4, the Moxley interview. Okay. The promo with
Swerve. Even though I didn't like the out.
Yeah, me neither. 3, the MJF and her business.
Yep.
Okay. Number 2, Orton and KO.
Okay.
And number 1, Punk promo.
You did not have El Grande Americano on your list. Interesting.
I would put him honorable mention.
Honorable mention, El Grande Americano.
That could be professional jealousy, Disco, because Americana was so close to Konnan's ticket sale.
Well, I think some people say he surpassed Konnan.
Yeah.
Huh. I hadn't heard that. I'll have to look that up on Grok.
All right, so that's been our TV reviews for the week.
Boom.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. and join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.